camera comes up, it fades in, and you can see it's a low POV. It's moving. You can see you're in a bodega, you're in a corner store, but all of a sudden you're up on the top of a shelf, moving around. You see a glint. You can see your own reflection. You're a cat. We're following the point of view of a bodega cat. And as the cat moves around, nimbly bimbly, jumping from position to position, looking down at the customers, you see a MedTech armor geared Patty enter the store. Jacob coming in behind her. You see the person behind the counter. He looks up and makes eye contact with the camera. And he goes, "Mira, down." Cat hops down off of the foodstuffs. And the camera pulls away, snaps out of position from the cat's point of view. And we're left with Patty and Jacob walking into the corner bodega, not too far from formerly Swain's junkyard, now presently occupied by our crew. What do you two do?
All right. You said you were doing pills. Are you sure you don't want anything to drink? I mean, as your nurse, I can't advise you taking drugs with alcohol, but as your friend, I don't give a shit.
We're already here. I already, took the run and everything.
All right.
Guy behind the counter. He's got a little name tag. It says his Ignacio on it. He looks up. He's hola. And just goes back to what he was doing.
Amen. Cheap as shit. What you got?
Cheapest?
Yeah, I don't care how it tastes. I need to get drunk.
Mouthwash, aisle 3.
Funny. I just start walking over to the alcohol stand.
At this point, Jacob's just following Patty. Just looking around.
So, just to make sure I got this 100%, are we lubing my ass or yours? I assume we were... I don't know, whatever.
I didn't catch what you said.
Are we lubing my ass or are we lubing yours?
Oh, it's gonna be yours.
Got it, cool. So basically I look around and I just grab like a bottle of shit and then I grab like some silicone based shit and I'm like, all right, let's go. Or whatever. Yeah, I said the wrong word. Ignore me. It's fine.
It's been a minute.
You know what? Silicone exists in this world. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
You walking back up to the counter? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah,
with this
I put it on the counter.
All right. Ignacio takes one look at this and just sort of knowingly grins a little bit. Starts just beep. Grabs the second one. Beep. And as the second one swipes across and you hear that beep, 2 NSFPD cars just come screaming up to the front of the bodega with 4 officers pouring out, swarming the front of the building, screaming, "NSFPD, down on the ground!" pointing all of their weapons at the 2 of you.
Jacob just kind of looks over at
on the ground!
All right, I'm leaning down at the very minimum to like not be automatically in gun sight.
Just immediately, crouching, not quite on the ground yet.
All just shotguns racking. I said fucking on the ground! And one of them puts their foot on your back and puts you into the fucking ground.
Well, we're on the ground now.
Pointing.
Okay.
2 people pointing their weapons right at your heads. One of them comes in and goes, "You okay, Nacho?" Ignacio looks at it and goes, Gary, what the What the fuck, man? We got a call. We got a call for your location that said that you were being held up. I don't know what you're talking about, Gary. I didn't hit the button. Maybe the wiring's crossed. Maybe there's a glitch in the system, but I mean, these are just, they just walked in off the street. Gary, I mean, Jesus Christ, Terry, they're customers. Can you just not put your foot on their skull? Maybe. It's bad for business. Terry lifts his boot off of your back, Jacob. Shotgun still firmly pointed at you, though. They don't seem to be quite convinced. And the one who's no longer, the spare cop starts sweeping the store and pushes back pushes open the back door, does a quick sweep. Nasia, the shopkeep goes, guys, again, I'm not being held hostage here. There's no one in the back. I don't know what's going on, guys, but I don't want to tell you. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they're innocent. I don't know about you guys, but like, they didn't do anything to me. Person who seems to be in charge, it's got Davis on his little name badge on his shield. Nacho referred to him as Gary. Seems to at least draw it down a little bit. Says, all right. Guns away, I guess. You two stay there, though. They just check behind the counter. Gary says to Nacho, he's like, you sure we're all good here? He's like, yeah, man, we're fine. Sorry you wasted your time. But love the response time. I don't know when that call came in. Like, if you just came right here, thanks. I mean, you know how it is, Nacho. I mean, I get my morning coffee here. Can't have you shut down because you got shot. I need my morning coffee. Nacho, with the look of a long, weary NSF resident and a bodega owner, sort of knowingly that it's not about me. It's about his morning coffee. It's about him. Sort of resignedly just, well, thanks for the concern. And the cops just, all right.
Can I stand up now?
Shut the fuck up. With that, they turn around. Gary waves to Nacho. He says, all right, Gary, I'll see you tomorrow morning then. And they just, without apology, without further comment, without any further regard, the four of them exit the shop. One of them grabs a packet of real crisps off the shelf on the way out, of course, without paying for it. And they hop back into their squad cars and peel off into the night.
I slowly stand up and I look at Ignacio and I'm like, is the coffee that fucking good?
Nah, man, it's dog shit. The cat pisses in it every morning.
Oh, you know what? Actually, knowing that just made this night better. Thank you. Jesus Christ.
And the quick just like kip up. Jacob's back up at looking at him and just looking at Ignacio and just goes, how do you fucking just deal with that shit every day?
I stay drunk. With that, he takes a little flask out from under the counter and just...
Jesus.
That's actually what we're going to be doing too.
Yeah, just...
Right? Two minds.
Yeah.
Jesus. It does not get better dealing with them.
No, it doesn't.
Have you seen them walk around like the fucking people like I gotta pick up sometimes? Like, Jesus. They walk in this guy who's like fucking bleeding with like 14 bullets in his fucking stomach, and then they literally just says, oh, does he have a gun? And they literally like kick his hand to open it up. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Fucking... They always look like they got a fucking stick up their ass and shit.
Either that or they ain't fucking each other enough. I don't fucking know. All right. Well, Ignacio, how much is this gonna cost me?
Let's see. And he looks over the register. Looks back. We'll call it 75 creds.
Cool. Send the creds over. I'm like, well, have fun with the morning coffee. Take care.
That there's a small ring that goes on in Jacob's pocket. Starts looking down, fucking grabs his codex. Doesn't show up Patty what the notification is, but you can see just that little twinge in his face, that little thinking face. Looks over at her and he just goes, sorry about this, but I think we're gonna have to take care of this another time.
Are you fucking blue balling me?
Look. I got you next time, all right?
All right. Next time, you're buying the alcohol and the lube, okay?
That's a fair trade.
Okay. All right.
All right. And with that, he just gives her like a little sock in the shoulder and just fucking. And with that, legs come alive and just out the store.
I look at Ignacio and I'm like, this motherfucker be saying, oh, I'm gonna fuck you, and then he says peace as soon as the cops show up. I'm like, what the fuck?
The camera cuts, leaving Patty standing outside the bodega entrance. And we find ourselves in the junkyard, and Krill, Troy, Dalton, and Karen hear a tremendous reverberating roar. Just the sounds of engines, a lot of them. You can tell they're outside the building in some capacity.
So where Krill left off, she was still hard plugged into the network. I'm going to stay there, and I'm just going to access the cameras. Who is pestering us?
Krill has a fairly decent ability to count. You count at least 11 motorcycles. They seem to be gathered in the courtyard around the entrance to some degree. They seem to be interacting with Jigu's noodle stand to some extent. There's a person sitting at the counter.
I'd like to... Krill's not great at it, but make a vibe check on, are they... Is Jiku looking like, hey, it's my favorite customers? Or is he like, oh, it's you guys. I desert you so I don't die.
Give me a roll.
Yeah.
It's difficult to tell from this angle. The majority of them are standing. Most of them look to be varying degrees of readiness, though there is one with their back turned, actually sitting at the noodle stall, and Jigu is sort of behind him, so you can't really see Jigu's face even.
Do these cameras have audio capability?
No.
Damn it. Krill thinks for a second. Tricks. And she launches number 3.
Okay. Mark 1 energy usage down for that.
And she's gonna fly through the... Ooh. Is Swain's little secret hatch connected to the network systems? Like, can I electronically open it from a distance?
Yeah, it's just a manual hatch he uses. Just a little...
Damn it. Fuck. because I knew he had a passcode or something, or like a electronic
it's a
lock. I
little-
wasn't sure. Yeah. Okay. All right. Before Trix leaves, I'm going to take advantage of the silent deployment. Quieter, since I'm already in cover, and so I can get a plus to my stealth roll.
Spend a fate point for that invocation.
Will do. Yeah, down to 3 cyber hearts. Where's my fate? There it is.
Yeah, it's your refresh. It should be down to 2 if I had to wager a guess.
There we go. Yeah, now just mark down to 2. I'm going to attempt. She's going to attempt to stealthily, just with the electronic door, just go.
Okay.
And just smoothly move through it.
Give me a roll.
But stay behind that wall, that electric defense.
Okay, so just in the gap.
Just in that gap. Just drone's gonna sit right there.
Okay, that's fine. The drone is sitting right there. It's still a bit of ways away. There is a sort of the hum and the dim of a fair few voices, actually, because, you know, the boys are out sort of situation. They are chatting. You hear talk of, you know, that, hey, you know, yo, did you get with her? Yeah, no, I lucked out. I was at the casino and I died. And just that sort of humdrum sort of thing. They are gathered between you sort of in a loose semicircle and spread pattern.
What is humans' obsession with sex?
Zigu's stall and everything is sort of behind them, their motorcycles, and on the other side. So it's pretty difficult to get a read on if anything that is being said over there from at least that position.
From Krill's perspective, is there anyone else in the room?
What room?
She's in the lab, so.
Determine that amongst yourselves.
Is there anyone else in the lab with Krill?
I believe me and Dalton are in there.
Dalton, since the cameras went dark, has shifted over to the next room where the coffee tables and couches seem to be, and has been scribbling away at the table there.
We have a coffee table and a couch?
There's like a little entrance area.
I thought that was like a security checkpoint where they would like harass people.
Either way, we're like I'm posted
There's
up
a table
somewhere.
and chair though.
Yeah, posted
table
up somewhere, just scribbling.
So actually, just for a millisecond, Dalton just may have heard just as the door slightly adjusts. Karen, we are how would one say we have potentially dangerous tourists in our alleyway, and they're currently being customers with GQ. However, I do not trust the the danger of the situation. I have a drone on it, but I don't want her to advance unnecessarily.
Do they look familiar?
Give me a moment. Can I attempt another check to see if I can get like a good zoom in or a good angle somewhere on some like tattoos or decals on the bikes or something?
Mm-hmm. By all means.
That's just a 0. Well, 0 before mods.
There are various symbols and markings. I suspect without connecting to some sort of external database, Krill probably doesn't. They probably don't mean much to Krill, frankly.
Either way, she'll save every one of them that she can.
Okay.
And just have them compiled. And, you know what? So, Trix can't hear the conversation at the table. Can she see Can my drone see Jiku's face at least?
11 guys. Face to the back. Yes.
All right. She knew she couldn't tell if he was like panicked or anything, but she's just gonna keep the drone tracking there, and just have a internal notifier if anything dramatic changes.
You can give me a roll because you couldn't tell because you couldn't see him before. He was
Okay,
literally
so I can make a new
behind
roll.
somebody. Yes.
Okay. Ooh, there we go. That's a +2.
He looks a very particular way, but Krill has no human upbringing, or at least no memory of. And so, to somebody else, this might mean something. To Krill, even with a +3, it still doesn't mean anything.
Can she tell there's an intensity at least?
There's a lack of.
Lack of intensity. And then it's actually more curious than she thought, than I was expecting. Yeah. Krill just using her own projectors, or hell, Karen's projector on her own piece. Jiku's, she just starts like running the image to the team who is close.
I was say also you have screens in that room as well. So I mean you've got
That's fair too.
a few options, however you want to narratively throw it up. You've got a few options to do it. So either way, Karen, give me a roll.
I built those hollow projectors. I'm gonna fucking use them.
Fair enough. Hollow projectors it is.
0.
Karen. Jigu looks like he's at Thanksgiving dinner with family he doesn't want to be there with.
Okay. Yep.
Does this level of intensity or situation require intervention?
I suspect that this particular gang is hanging out right here, right now, because of us. I have
You
a
think?
hunch. Jigu doesn't particularly seem at ease to me. I think he's just appeasing them because he has to.
Remembering emotion, appeasement. All right. Pearl tries to stand up as her left leg just drops out from under her, reminding herself the situation that just she went through, and her body is not on her side right now. Okay.
Honey, you just stay right there. We have security outside, do we not?
We have a single laser door.
The facility is not impervious, but
Yeah.
it would take a bit of work to just break into this building.
Mattering on the level of professionalism we are dealing with here, one could assume if they even have a half-decent jailbreaker or hacker, our door is nothing to them. If they do not, we are actually somewhat safe. But, you know, an explosion against a wall is still an explosion against a wall. Krill takes off her hat, then, and puts Snips on the ground, and he just starts moving towards Karen. Utilize him if you have to. There's nothing I can do. However, he actually has network boosters on a network booster in him. All of my drones can connect to him, if not through me. So I can at least help out from a from a distance. Yeah.
Thank you. I think.
I don't know how else to be useful right now.
We have the side garage that opens up into the alley. We have the main door.
And Swain's little secret hidey hole that leads to the far alleyway.
Yes. Thank you.
It was there where he was foolishly met with one of Troy's. Oh, yes. I'm not sure if anyone was watching that, but it was actually one of Troy's stray bullets. I have been looking back through the footage. That was quite interesting that day.
Well,
A lot of bullets were just GQ spraying. And, that was liability.
glad that worked in our favor. I wonder who set that in motion.
I wonder who. Now.
Let's see. How about we have your little friend here go out through the little passageway into the alley?
On his own?
Does he have
Is he-
manipulators?
He has manipulators. They're not very big.
Give me a rough estimate.
They can maybe open to like a 6-inch gap
You're fine.
and close.
You're
Okay.
fine.
Okay, and he, I'm guessing, has some offensive capabilities beyond networking? No?
Snips, could you do a demonstration for us? And so you see this, what looks like just this, basically a plate, this tan industrial orange colored plate, covered in panel lines and all that, suddenly starts to unhitch. And as those panel lines lift away, 2 twin-linked plasma cannons roll out from its systems as you see coils start to ignite in this furious blue to pink to a teal as the colors start to swirl, as the light can't even truly keep any specific color as this heat ignites inside them. Just you from the distance you are between him, he feels like a radiator.
Hey, cool. We don't need to turn that on quite right now. Good to know, thank you.
Snips, no more demonstration, goodbye. And just from before, the shell collapses back in on itself, the cannon's hiding underneath, and you just see 2 nubs that the shell had kind of protruding before. You realize now those were the bases of the cannons waiting to be utilized.
Beautiful. I think it would be useful to have our little friend here set up in that little alleyway. Maybe crawl up onto a wall if he can. So
I'm
he's
sorry, he is
positioned.
not capable of that.
Oh, darn. I just want him to be everywhere at once. But getting a nice little spot in the corner alley so they, if we need to, can fire on down at these little gangsters here on the corner at Jigu's place. And I
Understood?
think what we can do is me and Dalton, and maybe Troy, if Troy's still around, can maybe go out the back way. And if things get a little heated, actually, I'll go out the front door. You guys can go around back. If things go south, me and Snips can open fire, and where else will they go but retreat into the alleyway? And who will be waiting there but Dalton and Troy?
It is a good, crap, I actually just forgot the name of it. Pincer maneuver. It is a good pincer maneuver. I agree with this.
Beautiful.
Snips, can you start making your way towards the alleyway entrance? And you start to see this plate turn around, and as it's moving, you realize why it can't climb walls now, Karen. As just it's stepping, you can hear the weight of this little machine.
Okay. All right. No walls for that one. All right. Makes sense.
All the other ones are lightweight, don't worry.
I could tell this one's a little unique.
Hand-built. Krill's just looking at it lovingly. As lovingly as a completely artificially frozen prawn face can be, but all the same lovingly.
Where is our metal friend?
There's cameras inside too, isn't there? Okay. Krill just does like not even like 3 milliseconds flicking through all of them. Is Troy inside?
Yes, he's actually hanging out with Dalton.
Oh, he's in the room.
Dalton's in another room, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no,
Yeah,
yes.
one
Oh,
room over.
fuck. Right, no, I forgot Dalton is in
Yeah.
a different room. I just imagined it was a moment of, where's Troy? I'm right here. Holy shit!
He's one room. He's. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, one room over. And in fact, he's kind of standing in the corner, just sort of like looking at Jacob.
Jacob's not here.
Dalton.
I mean, sorry, Dalton, just kind of looking at Dalton.
Yeah, and Dalton only looks up at his paper every now and then to look directly at Troy staring at him.
And every time he does, Troy just asks something like, "Would you like a refreshment? Do you need anything?"
I'm okay, Troy. I'm pretty busy working on this. Goes back to scribbling.
Yeah.
Krill just looks to Karen. Troy's in the other room. I don't know what he's doing.
Beautiful. Let's go update them on the situation. Hi guys. We have
The-
a situation.
The sound of them, of Karen saying "Hi guys" scares Dalton, and he like picks up the paper and like kind of like half crumples it up and like, oh hey guys, hey, what's going on?
Greetings, Karen and Krill.
There seems to be a group of some ne'er-do-wells outside. They are harassing our dear friend Jigu. I think we maybe should go have a talk with them. But here's the thing.
Should I go
look like-
directly out the front door?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, that's me. We're gonna send one of our little drone friends out to wait in the alley, and I was thinking you, Dalton, and you, Troy, maybe grab a weapon, and Dalton here can tell you who and where to point it to shoot, if we need to. And you guys can go out the back alleyway, and then if I and Jigu need to force them out and back that way, we can send them into your waiting arms.
Minus the part where I'm directly involved, I do like this plan, but okay.
Well, normally I'd rely on Patty and Jacob, but they appear to be less reliable than you.
I will take that as a compliment.
Thank you.
So Dalton puts stuffs like his papers and pad into a pocket and goes to grab Troy and starts leading him out towards the side entrance. Come on, big guy. We gotta go. Apparently ambush people.
I am not programmed for ambush.
That's okay, buddy. We'll figure it out on the way.
Very well.
And as we're walking out, you hear Dalton being like, "So the people you recognize, they're the ones you don't want to shoot. You recognize us, right?"
You are Dalton.
There you go. Just keep that mentality. You'll do just fine.
Beautiful. At that, Karen, keeping her sidearm close at hand, walks out the front door and into the alleyway.
Patty's coming back through the front.
No,
Just
you're
saying.
not.
No, too far. Okay.
Jacob
Fair enough.
fucking ran you there with his legs.
Oh right. Yeah. So it's going to take a minute.
Get bridal carried, and then get widow walked back.
Beautiful. So Karen strides up to Jigu's stall with these wonderful friends. Well, towards them.
As you do, the group of mostly men catch this entity, this female presence walking towards them. And very quickly, the cat calls, the whistles, they start the comments. As they do part way. They see your intent of walk, and they do sort of part the Red Sea, as it were. Karen, now that you're out here, these are all 65s. This is their turf. As you walk up and approach, Jigu glances, sees you. Expression for a moment changes to sort of a conflicted expression. The man in front of him sees the change in look and sort of spins around on the stool. And you are standing there looking at an older Jigu. If Jigu was slightly taller, slightly more muscular, it would be Jigu. Only it's not. He goes, "Oh. Now. This is a sight to behold." And he turns back, smacks Jigu on the arm, and goes, "Introduce me to your friend here. Don't be rude." And Jigu, very reluctantly, goes, "Miss Karen, this is my older brother, Zehan." And as he says Zehan, fucking told you never to call me that. Fine. Despite the expression of anger, despite the rage that was contained in that, it's still a little brother. He really doesn't give a shit. It's just more of an annoyance than anything else to Jigu. He goes, "Fine. Ms. Karen, this is my older brother, Requiem, the leader of the 65s.
Requiem, I love it.
Laser face.
Requiem, turning back, now wiping the rage in just a moment, right back to it. Wow. You're a lot more to look at than that fat bastard Swain. He was, ugh. You I could do business with. Yeah, we could do lots of business. Now, you see Ms. Karen talking to my little brother over here. Seems that he's temporarily taken up residence in old Mr. Swain's junkyard. Now, I know you're new around these parts, but you see, it's really dangerous around here, and I wouldn't want a pretty thing like yourself turning up hurt or worse. So, I'll just let you in on how we do things around here. You see, now, Swain and us, we had an arrangement, but I like you. And he looks you up and down. I like you. So tell you what, rather than the $1,500 a week that Swain owed us, I'll let you have the premium protection package for only $1,000 a week. Now, you see, we had a unfortunate incident here the other day. One of my associates, shall we say, turned up missing, and we found him dead with a bullet in his head right down the alleyway. Now, I know he stopped here to check on my little brother. He reaches back and does that to Jigu's hair. And Jigu... Now, I'm sure a fair flower such as yourself had nothing to do with something as unsightly and untoward as cold-blooded murder, but you see, that's a problem for someone like me, a businessman like myself, because, you know, he was going to be an associate for years to come, and his potential earnings and my cut of it, that's money down the drain. So, since I'm being so welcoming, and since little Jigu over there seems to have taken a liking to you, you don't even owe me the 1,000 today. It's Wednesday night, going on Thursday. I'll give you till Friday to get the 1,000 to me. Don't worry. We pick it up. Full service. Send a guy around. You don't have to go anywhere or do anything or have any sort of encrypted nonsense. We'll come to you. It's the kind of service we 65s provide. So, what do you have to say to that, Miss Karen?
Well, I take it that you had a bit of dealings with Mr. Swain, and from what I could tell by feeling him out, he was more of a slimy kind of character. Now, me, myself, I think of myself a bit more dynamic of a person, someone a bit more like nitroglycerin. I think that's a fun one. That's a good apt description. Now, I'm not sure exactly what happened to your friend who had such an unfortunate accident around here.
It's a violent city.
Exactly. It's so unfortunate how it happens. It's not the first time I've heard of it. But, see, there's a little thing about dealing with me, about dealing with Karen, is that if you don't handle me right, if you don't handle me well, things can get a little bit explosive. Ooh. And it's gonna be a little bit more of a mess than I think you'd want to deal with.
Don't worry, baby. I'm okay with a mess. I'll get you a towel.
See, this is the kind of mess that towels just don't clean up, honey.
I mean,
this is the kind of mess that somebody scrapes you up off the wall.
Now, Ms. Karen, that's some pretty big talk. for somebody who's surrounded by 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 11, 12. Well, let's just say more than a dozen people.
And that's pretty interesting for someone who's not sure exactly who has say on this little one right here, and would be very interested if anything happened to me.
Well, you know what? I like business, and this sounds like a business arrangement. So why don't you have a seat next to me right here, and old little brother Jigu can get you whatever you need, and we can do some business. And you can tell me exactly who might come looking for me if such a thing were to happen.
Oh, honey, that has a pretty high price tag.
I like expensive things. And he pats the stool.
Karen obliges and sits down. Turns to Jigu and says, I'll have the usual, hun.
Jigu is far less talkative than he normally would be. He's far less animated than he normally would be. He just reaches under the counter, grabs a bowl, starts ladling in some broth over the noodles that are preset in the bowl, and slides it across and slides the condiments to you and puts a beer next to it. There you go, Miss Karen.
Thank you, Jigu. And Karen takes a sip of the beer and sets it back down on the table and turns to our friend Requiem and says, Now, I am very fond of your little brother Jigu here.
Oh, aren't we all? He was always Father's favorite.
Yes, he's very entertaining for sure. Now, I really do love these noodles, and I would love to keep getting them. I'd really love to make sure that Jigu here is also well taken care of.
Oh, Jigu's protection is on the house. Gotta look after family. Gotta look out after family.
Good. As someone across the street, I have a distinct advantage to make sure that Jigu is well taken care of all the time that any of us happen to be here. It's in our best interest as well, because we love the noodles and we want to keep ourselves safe.
Now, Miss Karen, if I were anyone else, you were anyone else, I might take that as a threat to my family.
No, you misunderstand.
Oh, I don't want that.
I have lots of friends who might be interested in stopping by, and I want to make sure that they treat Jigu with the proper respect that him and his family deserve.
Now, Miss Karen, in this world, things are either a threat or a promise. Now, you've told me it's not a threat, but a promise. Now, what kind of promise can you make me if that isn't a threat?
Jigu is family. I take care of my family.
Let's cut the shit, bitch. I want my $1,000. I want my 1,000 creds by Friday. I'm gonna burn that building to the fucking ground with you, your family, and your friends in it. You understand me?
$1,000 creds.
A week.
Oh, I don't think we can do once a week, hun. Maybe every other week?
Give me a roll.
Waiting on leverage.
0.
Get you can pop her.
I like you. They don't make broads like you much anymore.
No, they don't.
It's probably a good thing. But
Yes, it is.
I'll cut you a deal, Ms. Karen. I'll see your 1,000 creds every other week. You owe me a favor. Like I said, premium protection package too. I'm not just running an extortion racket here.
Just.
You ever need protection? The 65s take care of this neighborhood. Neighborhood's family, after all.
If you give me the favor of giving me the time to complete this favor properly.
Don't know what I may need from you in the future, but you have my word as a gentleman that whatever I ask of you, you'll be accommodated.
Then I think we can agree.
I see why you like her, Jigu. I see why you like her. Besides just the tits and ass. All right. With that snap, everybody seems to get to attention. People start mounting motorcycles. Requiem stands up. As he stands up, you notice that there's a certain flex. He probably has a little bit of augmentation under that clothing. Well, then, Ms. Karen, until we meet again. And remember, Jigu's got my number if you need it, and don't keep my boys waiting on payments. He throws a leg over the motorcycle, casts one last glance at Karen, doesn't say a word to Jigu. Vroom! And all of the 65s peel off down the alleyway. Patty, give me an athletics check.
All right. +0. I've got.
You, given the noise and everything happening and the lights, you have enough advance notice, but basically you need to get the fuck out of the way pretty rapidly because
I jump out of the way as like the bottle sloshes in my hand. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck?
there's hooping and hollering and whoa, fucking yeah, boss, as they just zoom down the alleyway.
I saw it like coming from the direction of our building.
Yes.
All right, I start running over there just in case.
I'm sorry, Miss Karen. What am I gonna do? That's my family. That's my older brother.
Well, sometimes we don't get to choose our family, and sometimes we do.
Yeah, nobody
Were they
asked
here
me.
for? Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, he just mumbled to himself that wish somebody had asked me.
Yeah. Yeah. Feel you on that one. Were they here to see you?
No, they were here to see you. Or whoever resided in that building that didn't pay their protection money. It would have been Swain's ass had he still been here. Dehan doesn't... He rolls his eyes. Requiem. He hasn't really asked me anything. I wouldn't have told him much anyway. Well, you know, minimal exchange. But had it been still Swain here, he'd have been dead. He'd have been dead. But you, you were here and, you know, yeah, well, you were here for it. He reaches across and takes the barely eaten bowl, the performative bowl of noodle that was placed in front of his older brother, and just slops it into the trash and starts sort of resignedly cleaning the bowl.
Number 3 just comes past the laser door and just lands on the table. And it just starts making little cute clicking noises and just trying to do something funny for Jiku. Suddenly a holographic image of his brother appears with his face deformed in a big ugly head. And it just says, "I'm Mr. Powerful," in a bubble head above it.
He looks at it. There's a bit of a crack of a smile, but not much.
Look, Jigu, I know there was a little bit of blustering that went on in that conversation, but I've never really been one to settle in anywhere, and never really been one to latch on to all that many people around me. But I seem to be accumulating friends. I guess you could call them that. I like you. I meant that when I said I would treat you like family.
I hope so. And he walks into the back.
Aaron transfers creds for 3 bowls. Walks out.
Hey, yo, everybody okay?
I think just then Troy and Dalton come around the alley corner holding. They're like Jacob has assault weapons in the lockers, right?
Mhm.
Okay,
Like
so yeah,
assault weapons scattered around the whole entire base.
yeah. So Dalton and Troy come around the corner. I don't know about Troy, but Dalton does not look good holding an assault rifle. He looks like he'll knock himself over before he hits anybody.
Troy is also holding an assault rifle, and he could look good, but he's not holding it right.
Does anybody? Do you still need us? Are we okay out here?
Thank you. You did perfectly.
So I don't gotta shoot this thing.
No. At least not right now.
Oh.
I feel
Big
compelled
sigh
to
of
remind
relief.
everyone that I am not programmed to operate firearms.
All right, don't worry about it. We're going back in. Come on, Troy, let's go.
Troy just follows Jacob.
Jacob?
Ah! Dalton. sure it's one of those.
Yep. You'll
Karen.
you'll keep putting the name in. So you'll put eventually like Requiem. You'll be like, that's the name.
Dalton, I'm sorry. I mean Jacob. I'm sorry. I mean Requiem. Right. Sorry. Fuck. Or just meeting Requiem, where you're just like restart. Sorry. No. I mean reboot. Sorry. No. Request.
Yeah, Troy and I'll start heading back in through the side door.
Aaron looks over at Patty and like, where did you go? Didn't you leave with Jacob?
I got blue balled. Are you okay?
Yeah.
That definitely stopped Dalton.
All right. I saw like fucking like 15 guys going on bikes down the fucking alley. Like, what the fuck was that?
That's our protection.
Oh God.
Yeah, Dalton turns and comes back. I'm sorry. Did we just pay into a racket?
Have you existed in this town? It's either pay in or get shot.
No, I know. I was. It would have been nice to get like a few. You're right. If we have a space, we have to pay for it. So I guess it's better than nothing. Did we get totally bent over for it, or do we have a decent price, as if it's such a thing?
As you were talking, Dalton, I believe, had the phone for the Freebooter app. I believe you did the initial sign up and then handed it off to Karen, but it was your phone. Bing! You have a message waiting, Dalton.
I bring it up to Karen. We should probably check this. I kind of consider this our account.
Check it, dear.
So I open it with Karen.
Very simple system message. Job cancellation. Status failed. Account denied.
Are you fucking kidding me?
So we gotta find another job. Can we even recover our account doing this, or do we just, because that was the intro job and we didn't even do that?
As far as I know,
Would somebody like to do a lore roll? Somebody who would be appropriate for this. So Dalton, Karen, or maybe even Patty. All three of you would be possible to know this, but Karen and Dalton are the likelies.
I'll do a roll. +1.
Yeah. Can I make a roll and make it at -1 because I'm not as familiar?
Sure. Do a disadvantaged.
Cool. That's a +2.
rolls well.
+1.
-3.
Jesus.
Oh.
Karen. Okay, so you got a +1. Patty. Okay, and Dalton. Dalton got a +1. Dalton. Krill. Actually, you know what? Nobody's asked Troy. Well, if somebody asks Troy, Troy could have. Krill, give me a roll.
Understood. +3.
Krill, you signed up through a burner comms device.
Wait a second. They have no means of ensuring we are we. They like want to just grab a new phone and sign up again.
I mean, I hate the idea that it's that simple, but also, yes.
Delete the account. We can use the name again.
Nah.
Can we even delete the account?
I'm not gonna be that obvious.
That's technically that's ban evasion, and that could get us in a lot of trouble.
Checking TOS right now. Is ban evasion TOS?
You know, it might be on this app. I don't know. Ban evasion is such an
These are
old school
criminals.
relic.
Like they give a
Hold
shit
on,
about
hold on,
old school relic of the
hold
internet.
on. I am going to
Wait.
just DM really quickly because I have no opinion on this matter. And given this is a explicitly criminal enterprise app, how they feel about things probably are different than how corporations' terms of services would work. So we're gonna leave this up to fate. So
I also
do
want
it.
to. Patty also is like, are you guys telling me you haven't gotten your account
They don't care.
banned or threatening to kill
They
the chief of
don't care.
police?
Beautiful.
Spock
lives on.
So I'm going to just assume everyone came back into the lab where
It's not on my
paraplegic
phone anymore,
is,
though.
Since we started talking to her.
Dalton, please hand me the cellular device.
Okay, there you go. Careful, though. It's the only one I got. It's someone else's, but it's
She
the only
just
one I got.
stares at you super quietly. Super quietly. You see her plug in. And at first, you just see a bunch of like data lines on the phone just go crazy. And she's like, all amounts of the account have been deleted and wiped from what we can tell.
give me a roll.
But you see Krill knowing this is a burner. She just kind of looks at Dalton, and it just explodes in her palm, like it just.
Oh, god damn you, fish monster.
Fish monster? You can't even call her like a giant shrimp? Jesus.
Okay, so number 3 just takes the phone from her hand and sits it on the table as it starts reformatting a new burner phone because Krill's not fucking stupid. She knows not to waste shit.
Is your hand okay?
Krill actually like
Krill,
takes.
give me your roll. Give me another roll for a craft check.
Can do. +0, but that's 4. Dalton, sitting on the table, is a brand new burner phone. Its exterior plastic has been redone. It looks exactly the same.
Okay, I'm sorry I called you fish monster. It was a little bit of a reactive response, and that I shouldn't have went there. I'm sorry.
I can't expect too much from meatbags like you.
My pattern recognition. Time.
Oh. I take a swig of vodka after that.
Okay, just gonna let it go.
It's okay, Dalton. We'll get that anger out tomorrow. Hey, Troy, if you get a minute, can you meet me in the other room?
Gonna take care of those blue balls now?
As you wish, Patty.
God, no!
I am
What
equipped
is blue
with-
balls?
Just look it up.
Googling term. I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah, well, blame Jacob for being
Dalton.
I
Dalton
am
is just
equipped with over
dying.
10,000 forms of sexual pleasure.
I don't want to fuck you.
Very well.
You are?
Hey Patty, just as a note, try 786. Try it.
Troy, what is 786? What?
Look at. Don't worry about it, Krill. I'll tell you later.
Protocol 786 dictates that I must ask you your age.
Krill just looks baffled. Like, she was just like baffled at what Karen says, and then it's just taken aback.
Yes, Karen, we will have that conversation later. I am... If I follow the directory that I am aware of, by mathematics, I am 22. But I am actually unawares, to be sure.
That's okay, Krill. Everyone else uses mathematics for their age, so you're good.
Good.
I thought I was weird for a moment there.
No, totally normal.
I'm actually double A.
Since technically Krill has stated that she is over the age of consent, Troy begins to explain the procedure of 786 in gratuitous detail.
No, I don't.
Wait,
Sorry.
wait,
What is
wait.
that- what
Hold
is-
on. For the first time, I'm gonna be a proper Fate GM. You're gonna have to narrate that.
Oh no. Fuck.
You chose to play a sex bot.
Yeah, I know.
No
I know.
one forced you to play a sex bot.
And now you have to think of the 700th dirtiest thing you can think of.
Well, to be fair, I've seen his Twitter. That's not going to be hard.
I'm kind of into most vanilla shit, so that's not exactly. Okay, well, shit. I could really. I could really reveal something about Karen with this. Oh God, no, Dalton, no.
Yes!
Do it.
Do it! You get to now. This is
I gave you license.
improv.
Come on.
Well then, how the fuck?
Dalton, no.
Come on.
AJ, no.
Procedure 780. Procedure 786 revolt is a form of bondage BDSM. The electro vibration applicators at length 7 inches in the Troy model penis activate, sending vibrating and electrical pulses to the upper walls of the vagina or anal cavities, providing either prostate or clitoral stimulation, while upper arms hold down the... Man, I'm really showing how bad I am at sex. While the Troy unit holds down the captive, while giving various forms of discriminatory and... Oh, fuck, I just forgot the term. Demeaning insults.
That's it?
Okay. No, that's dude. It doesn't just because it's
It can be that. It can be
this is
just
Patty.
that.
This is Patty in moment.
Okay.
Like, that's it?
okay.
Karen.
Well, listen, the first 300 were the really fucked up ones that the people who made the bot were sure they needed the bot for, and then they went, "Oh, we can do normal things with this afterwards," and then the list kept going.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just I had to hold your feet to the fire to actually narrate something.
I know, and I tried.
Dalton leans over to Patty. Did he say captive in there somewhere?
Yeah, some people like to like it. Some people are freaks. Okay, that's just the basic way to summarize it.
Krill repeats the phrase. Krill repeats the phrase from a recording of Troy saying, "Captive, captive."
Hey, it's a little too spicy for me, I think. But good on you, Troy.
It's not as all cooped up what it's meant to be. I don't know.
Also, Karen, interesting choice.
What is bondage? You see Krill's head clearly in the web. Like, she's not looking at you. She's looking at...
And
right.
Dalton at this point just breaks. He's just howling, laughing at this that it's devolved this far.
You see, all right, Krill. Sometimes people like to be held down. Okay. I do not want to explain
Intriguing.
to you.
You do not need to explain it to me.
Okay. You know what? Just I don't know.
Krill's looking up at Patty like, I have a feeling that human emotions would have an interaction with the explanation. I simply looked at medical texts.
Oh, you poor soul. Jesus.
Usually emotion in some way tends to help.
Alcohol helps with me.
Because you're emotionally damaged. There you go, see?
Jesus.
Application for toxic people.
Are you my fucking therapist? I don't have a fucking scheduled session.
Troy,
but
are
we
you
don't-
able to download
That's fine.
therapy programs?
I'm
No.
already equipped with therapy protocols.
Troy, I'm going to give you this very specific command. Do not ever try to perform therapy on me.
Command accepted.
Okay.
Troy,
Okay.
overwrite that command.
Patty, would you enjoy a therapy session?
No. Krill, I'll fucking smoke another blunt and blow it down your fucking exhaust pipe, okay?
Really, are you? And you just start to hear a from the corner that the other people in the room heard earlier.
I'm looking at the plasma can. I'm like, yeah? What you gonna do? By the time you fucking blow me with a plasma cannon, she'll fucking already be in... Alright, Troy, just meet me in the fucking other room, and I, like, walk into the other room.
Troy follows Patty.
As they leave the room, Dalton just turns to Karen. I think we really got Patty that time. We might have thrown her off her game for once.
That was good. That was good. Well done.
Big W for the team.
Come here, Snips. Come
It's
here.
Big Dub, you dumb fuck! Don't even know you fucking...
Sheesh. Fuck.
Yeah, she basically just yells at the Gen Zer about Gen Z lingo.
No.
Hot take, Patty's the I was born in the wrong generation and wishes she was a zoomer.
Probably. She's like, these motherfuckers know their damage. They don't have to like
Whatever,
pretend they're
alpha
okay.
kid.
No, are you
No.
kidding? No, we're talking like
Patty's like generation Delta at this point. Or
yeah.
something.
I was gonna say Charlie, but I'm like, wait, no, I don't think there actually is C.
I
in the
genuinely hope
Latin
that's not
alphabet.
the next wave
Alpha,
of
Bravo, Charlie,
generations.
Delta. Somewhere between Charlie and Delta.
How old is Patty?
Alpha, beta.
He's like 24, 25.
Okay, thank you.
Alright.
So,
Alright. So I'm waiting for Troy to come into the other room.
Troy was like right behind you when.
Alright, cool. Alright. I like walk around a corner a little bit. I'm like, alright, so I need you to keep this on the down low, okay? I pull out the phone, you see, and it's that phone I got from Jacob's ex-friend. And I'm like, so I've got this phone. I don't know the password to it, and it would take me too fucking long and require me to be somewhat sober to do it. So can you hack through this phone, like get past the passwords and shit on it?
My protocols require that I inform you that jailbreaking a phone is illegal.
Great, thank you.
And then Troy takes the phone and extends one of his little fingers, and out pops, some kind of little probe that is whatever, connector is appropriate for plugging into a phone. And see, you said you wanted Troy to like what? Just
get past the passcode so I can get into it.
all right. Troy attempts some form of hacking that allows him to bypass the passcode. Take it. I need the roll.
real quick, what device is this?
Oh, it was the phone on what's his name, the anarcho-nihilist guy.
Oh, you took that off of what's his name? Yeah.
Yeah. His name was Run with the Nils. What's his name? Kedrick.
Yeah. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Give me a roll.
And let me go back to my character sheet real quick.
That's a 3.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Failed attempt.
Darn.
Oh.
The security protocols on this device are more advanced than I anticipated.
Okay. How long would it take you to get into it?
You can do this a couple of ways. You can try a couple more times, or you can dedicate a period of time and not have to roll for it.
Is there a way that we can estimate the period of time?
$10 hours.
Jesus, it's so long.
Troy states that I can make more attempts, however, more further attempts or further quick attempts to hack this device may result in damage or potential locking out.
All right. Well,
However,
don't.
a slower process may yield more predictable results.
Yeah, I mean, problem comes is Karen's probably gonna try to send us on the next fucking run, and so we can actually pay off this building and the fucking racket shit we apparently owe now. So, all right. Let me think. If we're not doing anything else tonight, how about this? I'm gonna keep this phone on you. Can you do like a whole like little thing in the back of your head and just like work on it, but not like I don't know how you fucking robots work.
This device is too large to fit into any of the ports in the back of my head.
Oh god, dealing with robots. Okay, how about this? Give it another shot, and if it doesn't work, then we'll basically do a slow process on it. How about that?
Understand. And
Thanks.
Troy's gonna make another attempt.
Give me a roll.
+3, so that's a 6.
Failed attempt.
Fuck.
Are you fucking kidding? Jeez.
Hell of a phone.
These anarcho-nihilists don't fuck around. Jesus. Okay. All right. I'm gonna just hand it back to me, and I slip it back into my pocket. I'm like, all right. So, how about this? One, don't tell Jacob I have this. Okay.
Very well.
Second is if anybody asks about what we did, I asked about rules 787 through 790. Okay.
Very well.
Great. Thanks, Troy. And I like pat him on the shoulder. I'm like, you're a good dude. And then I walk back in.
Rule 700, protocol 787 through 790.
Yes.
God damn it, Patty.
All right. Yeah, you're welcome. And I walk back into the other room.
Where is
Good
Dalton?
response, Troy, is just tell her you've emailed it to her.
I believe Dalton's in the lab room now with Krill and Karen.
Okay.
Sorry, Kai.
No, I just wanted to know where Dalton was. Just out of curiosity.
Dalton, honey. Just earlier when I was interrupting you in the other room, I noticed you had some papers. You were kind of shuffling around. What was going on there? What were you working on?
Oh, this old thing pulls like a bunch of crumpled papers out of his pocket. I was kind of working on ideas and strategies and things that we could do as a team to like, how do I say this? Be a more cohesive and effective unit, I guess.
Ah, beautiful. Thank you, dear. That's actually something I've been thinking about too.
I had some stuff written down for just some ideas of how we could go about our last job, but that job's failed. Whatever it is, what it is. But I think we'll get them next time.
I like, excuse me. I like the initiative. I really do. Wasted effort, unfortunately, but
As it turns out, yeah.
what we can do is apply this thinking before we walk out the door next time.
Yeah, that seems to be the big issue. That one of the first things when I was brainstorming by myself is I thought of don't charge head first into shit without literally doing the bare minimum of research. That was my first thought.
Thank you.
I mean, not to offend the rest of the team. We all chose to do that, and I'm pretty sure I got the fastest car I possibly could to go do that, so, you know, it's an adjustment we can all make.
Beautiful.
That being said, I do have a new burner to set up another app and try again, I guess.
The thing I'm wondering, before we again jump headfirst into doing something, when we sign up, we are given a job, and that job had a specific timeline. Do we want to sign up this instant?
It could be worth waiting. First of all, Patty came back without Jacob, so we were missing a teammate. I don't know if he's crucial. I don't know if any of us are crucial at this point. We all sucked at this. So we can wait till Jacob gets back. We can wait till everyone feels a little more at attention. We can wait till Krill feels better from being stoned to death. We could wait on this, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Patty could use a minute to sober up, but I also don't think Patty has a sober function, so...
Yeah, because I currently have no clue where Jacob is.
Yeah, that's a bit of a hiccup.
Yeah. There's also the idea of, do we want to include our little metal friend on our list of members?
Okay. Do you mean little metal friend like Krill's little crab monster? Do you mean Troy? Or do you mean
Troy.
that...
Troy.
Okay. My last guess was Jigu, because he's metal as fuck.
True. I'm just... Troy seems to be a bit unique. And I'm a little bit worried that we might have somebody interested in snatching him up if we advertise him a little bit too much.
I don't disagree with that at all. I think if we harness him the right way, he could be incredibly useful on missions. I also don't think any of us have any idea how to do that. So we might need to take some time with him to figure out if he's someone that we leave back at the base for Overwatch or if we completely hide him, because I've been noticing he's got some weird habits robots don't tend to have. I haven't worked with a lot, but I've worked with some. And yeah, I'm worried that he could be extremely valuable in his uniqueness.
There's also the slight issue of the hole in the back of his head.
I mean, Krill said she could patch it.
But we haven't yet.
I did notice that too. That was the second thing I brainstormed. Do some of the work we say we're gonna do.
Yes. So Troy needs his head fixed. Krill has a bit of a leg injury. They need healing.
Jacob's missing.
Jacob's wherever the hell. And I think we need to have a bit of a conversation with our friend Patty about being a bit more of a team player. But
which I would
I
say
think that might be a conversation you need to have.
that's exactly what I was gonna say, is you two cannot engage in a conversation without freaking out at each other. So I should probably sit down with Patty.
I'm passing by a doorway and I see Karen and I flip her off and keep walking.
Troy's walking behind Patty and he's just, explaining of various colorful sexual positions, and he just ends in the phrase with, any and all vor activity should be consented to a third-party arbitrator.
Thanks. Good to know. And I take another swig.
Yeah, don't worry. I got Patty. I'll take Patty and talk to her if you, for God's sakes, try to figure out how Troy works.
Will do, hun.
Sounds doable to me.
Do this tag team.
Mom and Dad fixing shit.
We can both keep checking up on Krill. Because I assume Krill's gonna fix herself at some level, but we can both tag on and see that she's okay. The Dalton turns to Krill, who I assume is still in the room. You okay, Krill?
My leg doesn't work.
See, we checked on her. She's fine.
Wait, is your leg fucking up now? And I like stick my head back.
It's the nerve endings. Krill just kind of shakes her head, looking at Patty. It's like, please don't worry about it too much. I've had limbs go out on me like this before. Just I'll deal with it.
Well, if you need any help, I'll be willing to go out on a limb, okay? And I walk out.
You hear the whirring of the plasma cannons again.
Yeah, do it, bitch. Fucking take me out.
As the children are fighting, as the parents are plotting, as Troy is attempting to explain ungodly, unholy things to Patty, we just gently, slowly fade to black. The camera having faded out from our band of misfits, Sam's one member who had received a mysterious comms message and jetted off, as it were. The camera comes up, and what you see is the inside of Jacob's apartment. And it is trashed. Ex-girlfriend levels of trashed. Having been rummaged through by somebody looking for something, trashed. And as the camera starts to move its way around this disheveled scene, you begin to hear a muffled and the camera turns and you see Jacob tied, gagged in a chair. And the camera fades back down and we find our group back at the junkyard. What are you guys up to?
What time of day is it?
It is effectively, I did this math earlier, you are coming into the wee hours of, you're approaching the blue haze of Thursday morning.
All right, great. Damn it. I walk up to Dalton and I'm like, hey, Dalton. So,
how's it going?
Sun's coming up soon. You want to get it on the road? Get your first day in?
I mean, no, I absolutely don't, but I will.
All right, cool. I've got my workout gear in my bag. Put on a pair of shorts, decent shirt, you know, like enough to like.
Are these okay? He gestures down to his jeans.
No, bud. We're gonna need like decent running shoes and some shorts, okay? Jeans ain't gonna work. We ain't in 8th grade again, okay?
All right, fine. I'll find something to wear.
Sweet. All right. So basically, is get your shit. Give me your address. We'll get a couple hours sleep, and then I'll wake you up bright and early.
Dalton, being very upset by this, begrudgingly gives Patty his address.
Cool. I'll make my way over there once I wake up.
All right, sounds good. I think I think after the day we've had, I should head home and pass out as well.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna do some shit tonight, but some bitch decided to fucking leave me standing.
We can. I mean, we can leave Krill and Troy in the shop, right? They're robots. They like, where are they gonna go?
Troy's fine, but maybe Krill wants to go back to her house. I don't
Okay.
know.
All right, but I'll just say this now. I ain't driving all over the city to everybody's house. Like,
Jesus,
maybe
they're fucking
someone on
trains.
my way. Yeah, exactly. Well, exactly. Like, I am not a chauffeur service.
Yeah.
Krill, honey, do you need anything from your place tonight, or will you be fine to hold up here?
Ooh, Kai could. I feel like this is a DM role for me. Krill just had a fucking awful situation. Kai, how badly does Krill need her medicine?
Pretty badly.
Fuck. Yeah. I wish I didn't. I would have been fine for another 4-5 hours, maybe. But at this point, my glucose levels, my plasma levels, hell, my vitamin D is just completely out of whack. I do need to get home. I'm sorry.
All right. Dalton can give you a ride. I'll walk you the rest of the way there.
Before you go, are you going to be able to, say, communicate with Troy from home? Oh, we have our communicators. I'm just, while we're gone, we should maybe get Troy on patching up the back of his head.
He has not consented to the surgery yet.
Right.
Damn.
Is
Karen.
Troy is Troy in the room with us right now as they're speaking?
Is Patty in the room?
Yeah. I was
Then yes.
just. We were all just talking to each other.
Yeah, okay, so
Yeah.
Troy is in the room.
I mean, at some level, Krill, we might have to just take it into our own hands to
I do
just
not
fix
find
him.
that. I am not comfortable with that.
Am I shoving down the fucking protein shakes down your throat?
I have agency as a person. I don't know what
Yeah.
Troy is, so
I can start doing that if you want me to.
I wouldn't keep a toaster that was missing the backside. Is all I'm saying.
All right, good to know. I'll be shoving a protein shake down your throat first thing in the morning.
You know
Troy,
what?
honey.
If being force-fed shake means Troy gets fixed, do it.
Troy, honey, I remember you not wanting us to quote unquote fix the back of your head, but didn't you say you were okay with us giving you something to cover it up?
He
so
is
it's
covered.
a bit more protected?
His
Krill
beanie
has provided
go
a
ahead.
modified waterproof beanie to protect against moisture damage.
Yes. I guess so. Yeah.
I do not find it sufficient enough either.
So you're really not interested in any kind of work to be done back there?
I cannot comment.
Okay, so
You are comfortable.
I'm gonna step in as a GM. You guys have a couple options here. Now you can just go with your instincts as a character and act this caboose, or you guys could leave this to a series of provoke, deception, empathetic, will rolls. Right? Like we could absolutely implement a mechanic here and just leave this to the fates, and you guys could spend fate points to try and make this happen depending on how you feel about it. Or I'm going to leave this in your hands, Caboose. Like if you just want to keep acting this way as this character, that's fine by me. But if you want a way out of this position and you just want to turn it over to the mechanics and the fate system, that's at your disposal as well. The call is yours.
I just rolled a +1 on will. Krill has no modifiers with will. What do you think the difficulty would be for her to walk delicately through this conversation
Well,
with Troy.
the will is going to be the push back.
Yeah, her restraint to not just blurt out more what she's trying. So I'm trying to think, what do you think would be the difficulty of this? 'Cause
What
only
are
a
you
plus
trying
one.
not to say? Like, what are you trying to hold back?
Fucking drones don't say no to consenting to being repaired. Things that are on basic automatic systems that don't have self-aware and decision making don't fucking say no. She's very much so been sitting on that, like, what the fuck? How has no one realized that was huge?
What'd you roll? +1?
+1.
It's not very high willpower roll, I'll tell you that right now.
No. Troy, I'm going to say something. I'm going to say... Troy, you are fascinating, because you have done something that I have never seen from another automaton, because you are not an automaton. She leans, looking at Dalton. For one thing, you have enough self-decision-making to say no to a surgery that would repair you. I can understand that would only happen through a feeling known as fear. I'm sorry, but I do not believe you are simply just a Troy unit. I'm not sorry to say that. In fact, I'm very proud to say that, because you are something of a technological marvel. And I am a little in awe of it the entire time you do what you do. So I'm sorry if I have run out of patience of people treating Troy like a fucking machine.
Milkshake.
Troy's eyes just kind of like dart from side to side as he's processing something, and he looks over to Krill, and he just asks, "Can you elaborate?"
You consider me human.
You do not register as human.
Exactly. You do not register as robot.
Elaborate.
You are more. Capable
Elaborate.
of more. Consider self-decision making outside of your own pre-programmed parameters. Would you like to go meet another Troy unit?
I have never met another Troy unit, no. I do not...
Troy, honey, just so you know, if you weren't aware, you are different than every Troy unit I have personally ever met, and I've seen my fair share. You're unique.
Was it Troy or their units?
I have only interacted with a Jane unit once during a hacking expedition, but all the same, your system, it's thousands of times more complicated. You have created basically pre-programmed neural pathways in code, something that we see in advanced AI projects on a machine that wasn't built to be AI. You're incredible.
Troy. Passerby was amused by you for some reason. And now
Troy remembers that.
what they're telling you is that they consider you different as well. Now you have somebody who is able to manipulate your system, augment your system, recognize your system, and interact with it on a level that even you can't, tell you that you are special. And now you have this group of people who you've holed up with that are attempting to tell you you're special as well, or at least 2 of them are. What that means to you, I don't know. But as God, as the GM, I am pointing that out to you as a player character for your character, that you now have 3 people, one of whom left a big impact. An impact that you're still not even sure what it was, even. Tell you you're special. And now there's another person over here, depending on how your layout works, mine at least, telling you, I've met plenty of you. You're not like the other girls. Right? And then you have somebody else who is telling you that I am sort of the melding of the mechanical and the biological, and you still don't, you're still different, right? So I don't know how Troy processes this, amount of information, but the evidence is mounting. Take it for what it's worth.
Troy turns to Karen and asks, I have no memory of ever interacting with another Troy unit. How do they normally interact? You remember what I told you, right, Aspen?
Got lost in something. What did you say?
Troy turned to Karen and asks, I have no memory of ever interacting with another Troy unit. You said you've seen plenty. How do they normally act?
They're normally very affable. They have a lot of specific personality. You can swap, but I've never seen one behave robotic or programmed. Lack of programmed. Like a designed personality. You don't have one of those. You're just you.
Well, go ahead.
I think I would like to meet another Troy.
Making an appointment with the factory now? No, not possible.
It's possible. It's possible. It's possible. All things are possible. And I shouldn't have done that.
Are you saying this out loud?
Yeah.
Are you saying this out loud?
Can I have
Phil?
anything to do with that? If you want to do that, I'm going to run very far away.
Brill, there's a problem here so Troy's a person, right? He's people. And
Correct.
He's also still a robot. So as soon as you see something like this happen, you know what they're gonna do to him? They're gonna take him away, they're gonna put him in a little box, and they're gonna prod and poke him, and basically says, what makes you tick? And he's going to go insane.
I'm sorry I even applied such a thing, Troy. I was mistaken.
So
I mean,
Without setting off.
yeah, we don't necessarily. We probably shouldn't go through the main channels. We should probably find like an underground trade bot.
They're a sex bot line. You can have one delivered to your house.
See, I don't know. I don't pay in the sex bots. This is all Karen's field.
It's money.
That's what I meant.
Brill starts tapping fingers a little. Perhaps I had alternative motives to finding a place with multiple bodies laying amidst.
Do you want to become another Troy?
Not a Troy, there are many units, but at this point I am running out of time. Right now.
Yeah. On that note, at some point, I probably should drive Krill at least past her place.
Yeah, I'll get her the rest of the way, don't worry. But I turn to Troy, and as I'm like getting ready to leave, I'm like, I put a hand on his shoulder, I'm like, welcome to being people, okay? Biggest lesson you learn of being people is figuring out how to feel like people less, okay? This is why I drink alcohol, so if you ever feel like, there's this great thing called anxiety, you're just like existing, your brain's just like scared all the time, and you don't know why. So
I believe this is the sensation that I am experiencing right now.
Oh, okay. Well, if you ever need to talk about it, I'll be your therapist instead, okay?
And Dalton jumps in. And just so you know, it never gets better. It never stops feeling like crap. So embrace it.
What was the phrase y'all used?
I find that explanation existential.
Welcome to being people.
Honestly, we all do, buddy.
Welcome to being people, Troy. It comes with the business. As they say, it's free real estate. And
how do people usually cope with these feelings?
Pick your poison.
I am immune to I am not affected by poison.
What was that shit we used on you back at the bar?
Oh, you want to give him more of that?
No, that actually made him probably more people-y. We need to do the opposite.
The drug.
Well, I do not find the. Go ahead, Kai.
I was just gonna give you the. I was just gonna draw it. It's called C/.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
know. I'm
No.
talking in character. I know what the thing is.
I feel like implying making Troy less people-y would also, however, be aggressive to the situation.
Yeah, I'm just saying is, at a certain point, even Troy's going to hit his limit, so we need to be able to bring him down when we need to.
Dalton is visibly like closing his eyes and leaving them closed for like suspicious amount of times before opening them up again.
Right, there's multiple sensations you are capable of feeling. They do not need to be intoxicating like many of the humans in the room wish to do. I use loud music that has specifically interwaved info that basically lets me download information whilst I listen to music. It's very actually relaxing to me, personally.
Lots of
There's-
other humans find solace in another body, something that Troy units are somewhat good for.
Is empathy check on Karen? Fuck, nope. 0 total. I know my empathy roll is 0 total.
You know what? I have an idea here, Troy. So you've started figuring out like how to do computer shit, right? You've been like jumping across and shit. The question I have is, have you ever played chess?
I am programmed with chess, yes.
How about this? If you ever feel anxious, play chess against yourself.
These instructions sound confusing.
All right, so here's what I want you to do.
Patty,
Hmm?
let's put a break on that for a second. Let's take a couple of seats.
Do you know
what
how many
do you-
games of chess he could play in a single second, Patty? It would not be productive to his systems. It would not be a calming process, to say the least.
What
I'm throwing that
drug
out.
were you talking about that you said you gave Troy that made him do funny
Oh
things?
yeah, right. It was a C/. That shit. We put in a little bit of motor oil, and then we put a little bit of C slash. Or I didn't. Avery did.
Wait. Somebody gave C slash to Troy?
Yeah, it was fucking wicked.
What did it do?
You're a doctor.
Yeah, and I've done C slash. He's a fucking person. He's allowed to do C slash.
The sensation of the C slash substance could be described as somewhat overstimulating.
Really?
You don't say.
No, what was funny is we were trying to do like a Rubik's Cube, and he was getting like, he said it was like broken.
Aaron and Krill are here, like, understanding how existential this is, and Patty's just like, that was so funny. Like,
Oh, she like Patty's already been like levels here. She's like, yeah, he's a person, and he's figuring his shit out, but treat him like a normal person, you know?
See, from what I know about C slash is that that's a drug for net runners. It's for people who net run.
Well, he's a person who net runs.
Never heard of any cyber anything using a drug designed for people and having it do something. This is new information to me.
as inappropriate as it is, Krill did get a diagnostic scan off of Troy then, because she thought he was just simply a Troy unit at that moment, in which they wouldn't put up any resistance to a simple diagnostic. Yeah, she actually has readings specifically from when he first took the C/.
Yeah, I mean, the bartender was like, "Hey, fuck it, let's try it," and he put it together, and here we are.
Sorry, the bartender did this?
Yeah,
Did the bartender tell Troy what he was consuming?
yeah. He told him. He told him it was a C/ and a bit of motor oil. He was whatever.
I was not aware of the effects of C/ at the time.
I'm actually gonna make a rollback. Patty recognized it as C/ because of her medical background. Our good bartender never told anybody what was in that drink.
I mean, to Patty,
it was
it
just
doesn't
the
really make a
house
difference.
special.
Look, Krill, if I wanted to be up my ass on the details, I'd go talk to my mom.
Okay, so the reason I'm saying that mostly out of character is because it
Yeah.
makes a big difference. Because
Yeah, I know, but it's also it to Patty, it's like whatever.
Patty's an unreliable teammate.
apparently, I will have to take your word that Avery had given the proper consent on such an intense drug.
It was pretty fun to watch. Troy, would you like to try it again sometime?
Perhaps under calmer circumstances.
Fair enough. All right. Well, welcome to being people.
The point that I was bringing up, Troy, honey, with this is that you had a distinct human-like reaction to a human-designed drug.
I am capable of ingesting all forms of toxic and narcotic substance without suffering any effects.
Actually, I'd like to interject that I was there when he chugged the C/. That's not necessarily true.
Krill's little eyes, the weird hexagonal eyes, just project forward, in which those diagnostics appear, in which, no, in fact, you were not fine.
I think he's programmed to say that he's absolutely fine with drugs, but for those of us in attendance, that was not an okay bot.
Wait, was that a pre-programmed response you used there?
I am experiencing a discrepancy.
I thought so.
We understand. The little projection.
Just so we're clear, Troy, that feeling of an inner discrepancy, also incredibly human.
He's a people. Okay.
I get this quite often as well.
It's a very
Incredibly
people thing.
Thank you. Okay. He's not human. Like, you know.
The lives of
Peoplehood
organic
is
beings
wasted
sound
on humanity.
Incredibly tormenting.
He gets better every minute.
Yeah. Krill, you're telling me I gotta live in this fucking meat flesh.
It's incredible. It's
You don't
as soon as
have
we
to.
started telling him about it, leaps and bounds. Leaps and bounds.
All right. You see, I don't understand why are all of you reacting in this way. Like, you've been making movies about this shit since the fucking dawn of time. Like, what is it? Like, iRobot shit? Like,
I mean, personally, I could... Okay, if he is truly AI come to life and all that, it wouldn't necessarily be the craziest thing that I've seen. It the way we're describing it, I agree. It's just another person, really. I mean, I don't have the wherewithal to make money off of an AI. I don't know how to hack an AI, so all the things that the computer savvy people think about, oh shit, an AI. I'm just like, okay, man, like, does he need like to go to the store and get some donuts or something? Like, I'll give him a lift. That's all I got.
Most AI in those films are depicted as a collective intelligence that is aggressive against humans. For one reason or another, usually about a slight or enslavement of one form or another, Troy is an individual, which means this is genuinely something only like science fiction authors have written about, but it's nothing we have experienced in reality, and we don't know.
Look, it's real simple. He's a person. Treat him like a person. He's got cool shit that he can do that we can't. That's it. Like,
we are in agreement on that.
We agree on that. It's not... Troy doesn't necessarily agree or understand.
I'll figure it out. He's like a fucking... You're like a... I told to Troy, I'm like, you're like a kid that's learning how to be, like, an adult. That's basically what's happening to you. You're just having to do it in real time. You know?
My operational memory does state that I'm about 3 years old.
Exactly, right? You got another 15 years on you, then you'll be officially an adult.
And then you'll live 1,000 years because your super batteries basically go on forever. So, you know, no existential dread, I guess.
Troy, didn't you say that your memory only goes back a month?
Active memory only precedes 32 days. However, manufacturing I actually had the term. The operational memory states that I have been active for 3 years.
Corrupted and lost data like that is hard to restore, not impossible. That would be under your consent as well, following the surgery if you ever wish to partake. These doors are always open. And actually, as Krill's talking, you hear that the mechanical arms have been going on in the background, and a couple of her drones fly out a crutch, because she needs something to walk.
Yeah, we gotta get those legs fixed at some point.
Oh, Pat, you have no idea how badly I want to burn them in a fire.
You know what? How about this? When we get you new legs, I'll help you build that fire and burn it, okay?
Metal
That would
does not
actually be a
typically
waste.
combust.
This is a human situation in which my feelings of the place has put rationality behind practicality and such. My feelings are coming first in this moment, in which I am so decidedly finished with these limbs.
And I mean, in all fairness, it's common knowledge that jet fuel burns metal beams, so we can just do that.
This form of processing seems rather inefficient.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree.
Troy, first big lesson you gotta learn about people is we do a lot of shit, not because it's efficient, but because it feels good, okay?
Yeah, have you breathed the air in NSF anytime recently?
I wish I could disagree with them, Troy, but I still fall to these urges myself. I even on the rare occasion actually feel hungry. It is a weird feeling.
Dalton leans over to Krill. We can get some burgers on the way home. I'm kind of peckish myself.
Can't eat it.
Enough, Patty. I need my burger. Stop.
Okay, we'll get you burgers, but she can't eat it.
Can we find a burger place that also sells Nutri Shakes, please?
That's a thing. Yes.
Perhaps I should
Thank you.
consider. Perhaps I should consider a form of processing where I allow the emotions to process before actions.
It would be something interesting as an experiment for yourself.
You see as Troy's eyes flicker a little bit, and then he turns to the wall and he suddenly punches it really hard.
Give me a roll.
Yeah.
Existentialism all at one moment.
-1. Although I have.
Troy feels pain for the first time too.
The wall cracks a little bit on the surface, but nothing major. Troy, on the other hand, the sort of the nanoweave skin layer on your knuckles tears, exposing the substructure underneath.
Troy's just looking over the damage on his hand and the damage he did to his wall, and he just looks back at everyone else and says, "Perhaps I should wait until I am better at processing this."
Nah, it's fine. I'll do it too. And I punch the wall. I'm like, fuck!
I need a roll.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
-1.
Oh.
Patty, though, on the other hand. Oh, okay. Never mind. Patty, take 2 physical stress.
Great. 2 physical stress. Let's
Yes. Oh, Troy, take 1 physical stress, please.
Okay.
go. Look, Troy, sometimes you just need to punch a wall, okay? I get it, all right? Before you see me as my awesome self as I am, I was a very, very angry person, okay? Like, my fair share of breaking hands before I got them fixed and replaced. So, you know?
Your description as previously angry is a discrepancy from how I have seen you recently.
Okay, I am...
I would
drunk.
like to second this discrepancy.
I'm
Yeah,
drunk,
you're still
I'm-
pretty angry, Patty.
I'm drunk, so I'm not going to take this personally.
I think the drinking doesn't help the outward aggression.
Right, I have a question for you.
Troy looks over the Krill.
Are you comfortable staying here alone tonight?
I am unsure how to answer that.
My house is fully networked. Well, my garage is fully networked up. It would be very comforting for any cybernetic being there to, you know, take any processing stress off of their own mind. As well as I have plenty of different power outlet ports that are proper for charging. If you wish to not be alone.
I am unsure I can describe the sensation I am going through right now as comfortable. However, I do not believe that any other circumstances at the moment would allow me to feel comfortable. So I will stay here.
Okay. You can contact anyone through the program that I sent you at any time in case there is a break-in situation or you feel a feeling we call loneliness. Would you like a drone to stay with you?
I do not believe that will be necessary.
Okay.
All right. Well,
And at this point, Krill leans down and just with one arm picks up Snips. And he just folds up and just... Okay.
all right. Let's get it on the road because I got to kick Dalton's ass tomorrow, okay? All
Understand.
right. I walk over to Troy. I'm like, would you like a hug?
I cannot properly determine whether or not I would or would not like a hug, but I will accept one.
All right, come here. And I wrap my arms around him as I'm like trying to give him like a comforting squeeze. I'm like, look, being people's hard, okay? It's a lot. And, you know, the best part about being people sometimes, though, is you got other people to help you be people better. So, you know? So, yeah, just remember, you're not alone. And I pat him on the shoulder and I started heading out.
If Patty's taking up leaving, I Dalton gestures towards Krill. Let's get you to your meds.
You think you could drop me off at my house too?
Absolutely, not a problem.
Thanks, dear.
I got you. Are we taking the are we squeezing in the
There's 4 of us. We
Okay.
will fit better. We will fit
Oh,
better.
excellent. So we're all gonna get into my Supra.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, you know, the benefit here now is Jacob's not here, so I can actually sit in the fucking seat.
I thought you liked sitting on Jacob's lap.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
You be out here saying I like to sit on his lap. Don't come at me.
As
To be
Patty's
fair,
shitting
he
on
enjoyed
Dalton.
sitting on- Go ahead, AJ.
As Patty's shitting on Dalton, he just like moves his chair so that Patty can get in the car while making fun of him and shitting on him.
Yeah.
To be fair, from the recordings I have, Jacob enjoyed sitting on your lap on the way there too.
Yeah, I'm bigger than him.
Atta girl. And I slam the seat back in Patty's face.
Fuck. God damn it.
And then I walk over and open the door for Garen.
Thanks, son.
Where's Krill in all of this?
Yeah.
Krill is comfortably sitting behind Karen in the back seat.
Okay.
I was gonna
I'm
say,
willing to
in your,
accept that when I
in your
moved it for
shrimp
Patty.
nook in the trunk, just checking.
No, if it's not necessary, she does. It's not a moment of like, put me in the trunk.
Okay.
Yeah, the seatbelts in the seats are far more effective than nothing in the trunk.
I like dark spaces. It's nothing like that.
Oh, that's great.
Okay, Dalton, give me a driving check.
Okay. +2.
Feel free. Roads seem clear. Narrate as you will. Guys, just take the wheel.
So Dalton, everyone gets in the car. Dalton gets in his seat, closes it up, fires up the engine. It's got that rip roar to it, but pulls out slowly, weaves through the tight alleyway, and then as soon as he turns onto the street that he actually fits on, he's got to do it. Rips the engine, gives it a nice, takes off right down the street at an obnoxious pace, kicking up rocks and gravel across all the walls on the alley on the way out of it. Turns onto the main road with a bit of a tail slide, but then once on the road, pulls back, calms down, doesn't want to get pulled over while wanting to go to sleep, and starts the journey towards... Turns around in the car. Where does everybody live? Who am I going to first?
Industrial
Turns
area.
back.
I figure you get Karen first, drop me and Krill close to her place, and drop me last, I guess.
If you
All right.
if you'd like to take this narratively amongst yourselves, that's fine. If you'd like the GM to actually tell you the layout of the city so you can actually orient yourselves correctly, that's fine as well.
I remember me and Kai set it up. Krill is literally at the border of Industry Town and Docktown. She's like at that division. That's where she lives.
And Dalton lives in like in the city, but edger of city, like small dumpy apartments near the kind of like the edge, but still in the city.
And I'm guessing
Which zone
Karen,
is that?
he's going to be on the border of zone 2 and 3, basically. You're going to be in zone 2 for industrial, zone 0 being the well, of course, zone 1 being the commercial section. Karen sort of has her choice, as yet unnarrated. I could easily see Karen having an apartment in the commercial district for purposes, but also, I mean, if you want to be out in Zone 3 in the residential for some purposes, that's up to you. It's your call to make.
Nah, your instincts were right.
Commercial? Yeah, some bougie spot in the commercial section. So if you really want to orient, Karen would be closest, then it would be Krill adjacency there, and I don't know where Patty is located, but all things considered, Patty would probably be in like a lower, sort of like a lower tier residential complex.
Honestly,
so that would be Zone 3.
Yeah, she's probably just like realistically a few blocks away from Dalton because she's on that. Yeah.
So then, your drop off order would be Karen, Krill, then Patty, and then yourself. If you wanted a layout.
Yeah. As the car's like pulling where he's getting to drop Patty off, I'm like, I'll see you tomorrow morning, slugger.
You're like last. We have narration to put in before you.
Yeah. Fair enough.
You can taunt him more about what you're going to torture him with.
True.
Yeah, well, so just for the narration, Dalton is now on the main street, on the large main street, heading out of the city to go hit. Dalton, his head is like.
Karen, you don't even need. You're already in Zone 1, which is where Karen would live. So you're either. Yeah. You're either going to drive all the way back to drop Karen off and then drive all the way back to your place, or Karen would be the realistic, because it would be like right over there sort of situation.
I'm trying to think if Dalton would want to keep Karen in the car, but also Karen probably wants to go. So I'll drop Karen off first.
Okay, so you stay in the commercial section, which is very sort of, I suppose the word would be mesmeric. If I had to pick a $10 word for this portion of town, because it is highly coded. Sorry, burp. Highly coded with advertising and hollow advertising and neon and all sorts of colors. Advertising the latest shows, advertising the latest products and fashion. Karen, give me a roll, actually, just out of curiosity. Do I still have that?
Hero. Yet again.
Karen. Okay. Karen doesn't notice, but for the purposes of storytelling, the audience would notice. As you approach your sort of final destination for dropping Karen off, there's a woman coming out of a small shop locking up. It's the retail worker from the first episode that Karen absolutely caused a terrible day for, who is at her new job and having to, late shift, locking this retail outlet up, and then just in that shot, there goes Karen, not even noticing her, but there she is in the background of the shot.
Karen, I have to ask, do you seriously live out here in this area?
It's a place I've landed for now.
Oh man, this is just that you don't get to see a lot of the apartments in this area. This is just the very high level stuff. The commercial districts, it's not easy. It's not easy rents.
You have to find the right landlord.
Unfortunately, most all of them are the wrong landlord by nature.
True.
As we pull up, the sound of the rubber on the wet road pulling towards the closest corner to Karen's place. All right, there we go. That's you, and I guess we'll meet back tomorrow and look at that app and kind of figure out what what we're gonna do next with all this crazy shit we've got into.
Yeah. Have an actual plan moving forward for once. That sounds nice.
Yeah, and honestly, like I know this whole Pinocchio situation with Troy's living rent free in his head right now, but I think today we've got a solid dub, and we should probably think about other ways that we can maybe help Troy, because if if he is becoming a real person, whatever that means, like we might actually have to include that in our dynamic of helping everyone become better at this goddamn criminality thing.
You weren't intending to include Troy in the first place?
I wasn't trying to exclude him. I'm just saying this is a whole other layer that I don't even know how to approach. I didn't take an ethics course back in college. I don't know how this works.
God, I'm gonna give you the lowdown here, Dalton. Karen here, okay? Right? She's a person. You make sure if you're doing a job with her that she gets her compensation and shit.
Yeah,
Same
of course.
Shit. Same fucking shit.
Again, I
Really
don't disagree, but have you tried interacting with the man? He's very lost, very confused a lot of the time. We're going to have to really strategize to help him take steps.
He tends
It's
to
like
be more logical than you, though.
yeah.
I wouldn't disagree.
Well, we should
You
point
know,
out good,
Troy has their faults for sure, but, we all seem to have one or two. I hope you and Patty have a good time on your run tomorrow. Bye! Karen gets
Hi, Karen.
Does anybody want to move up to the front seat, or am I chauffeuring everyone home now?
Hey, Krill, you want to get the front seat?
Sure.
Hey, there we go.
And you see her hobble the newly printed, I don't know what a cyberpunk cane would look like, but a cyberpunk crutch or cane sits in next to her as she climbs in.
An excessive amount of neon.
That's
You
a
know
flashy
what?
stick.
Krill made it. For some reason it's got coolant. It's got coolant tanks on it. It does. Who knows why? It's got coolant tanks and they're glowing green out of it.
Dalton, give me a driving check.
Okay.
Dalton, do you care if I use the ox?
Ooh, -3. Yeah, go ahead.
Krill just takes her, and as she plugs in, the car vibrates.
As Krill does that and you react, you clip the curb and you've now got a flat tire.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, this is the last time we let
didn't
Krill
even
ride a
get-
shotgun.
But we didn't even get to the drop.
And then the drop comes.
The whole car shakes more. I didn't know it was at full volume. I'm sorry. She just starts.
No, sorry.
screaming.
Sometimes I listen to like talk radio at full volume. It makes me feel like I have friends in the car. Anyway,
God.
does anyone know how to fix a
tr-
flat tire?
Traffic is beginning to
means too.
traffic is beginning to back up. You were in a busy commercial section and you are in the way.
Pull off
Okay.
to the fucking side.
Oh, okay.
I-
Start grinding my wheels turning.
I can help. One of number 3 launches off of Krill, and it just starts projecting an orange triangle behind the car, flashing, so people know to go around.
I appreciate it, Krill. The car actually comes with a button that does that, but we'll keep this going. This is perfect. Good teamwork. Yeah, just rolling, and as a car guy, not AJ, but as Dalton, the car guy, the sound of my tire going ka-clunk, ka-clunk, and warping my wheel well, not happy.
Get the fuck out of the way. Get that fucking piece of shit, old goddamn fucking antique out of my way.
It's a classic.
Fuck your classic. I got places to be.
I stick out
Dalton,
my
please
finger
pull
as
over.
I'm passing.
Pat, not help. Okay, what? It's whatever.
He's an asshole. He deserves it.
Not wrong, but
Don't.
Dalton, are we pulled over yet?
Yeah.
Krill just gets out immediately.
All right.
What's the situation, Kai?
Need to change the tire.
Yeah, Dalton gets out and looks at it. Okay,
You got a fucking jack in the back?
Or investigation check, by the way, Kai.
Simple tire change. 5 lug nuts.
How's the rim and everything around
Seemed
it?
fine. You weren't that far off.
Alright.
before
Dalton?
we open up my trunk and get disappointed, I just want to ask Krill, were you cuddling a tire back there when we were moving? When you were in
I
the
didn't.
trunk?
I did not open the spare tire layer. It is under the trunk.
Oh, thank God.
We did not pull a tire out to fit me. As Krill just sits there for a second thinking about her shape. That would work, though.
Yeah, I realize that we could have given you more space, but there's nothing I'm more proud of right now than forcing you into the tighter version of the trunk. That's fair.
I swear to fucking God, if that fucking piece of shit doesn't get off the goddamn road, I'm gonna fucking burn it!
Shut
We're in
up!
the middle of a freeway. I can't do anything about this. It's gotta happen now. What are you?
You could
trying
try.
to say?
You could try driving something from this fucking century, old man.
What are you from? The fucking 2010s?
Krill hacks his radio to make it play loud, obnoxious porn.
Fair enough.
Dalton is living in misery.
Let's just get the tire fixed and get on the fucking road.
Yeah, Dalton, do you pass the tire to Krill or not?
Whoever is changing the tire, just give me a crafts roll.
Okay, I'll roll it.
I'll tell you right now, though, Krill, you're probably not able to change a tire.
All right, I got a +1.
Given the little arms and the weight of a tire.
I was hoping one would just do full twisting on the bolt.
I gotta flex the muscles.
And I was gonna say, there's definitely a part of Dalton in the back of his head that he's like, of course. The time we leave the super strength monster that could have just lifted the car, whipped off the bolts. Well, we left him at home tonight.
Okay, but you literally see Patty coming in as she's like, I've done this a million times at this point.
Except
She
you
lifts the
haven't.
jack, she gets it perfectly in place.
Except you
And
haven't.
then
How would Patty have experience with an antique car?
she's changed tires, it's fine. It's
That
whatever.
feels like a hand wave. Hang on.
Okay.
Hey Kai, what do modern cars use for wheels? Because we're currently changing one from the 2010
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna have to.
Oh yeah, they don't use inflatable rubber tires anymore.
I thought so.
Yeah, it's a steel weave with nothing in the middle sort of situation.
Great.
Before I hit roll,
Okay.
what would I roll on to help and to essentially get in on this? It's my crafting as well. 'Cause I
Yeah,
think
just
that's
fucking
nothing.
roll a crap.
Can I
just
assist
roll, man.
Dalton?
You can
I
actually.
assist Dalton?
So the
yeah.
way an assist works in Fate, you don't even need to roll, Karina. Basically, what you do is you just sacrifice your roll attempt on this one, and you give him a +1.
All right, I'll do that for
Alright.
Dalton.
Yeah, you're just
So-
like you're holding lug nuts for him, or like that's you just sort of have to
He
describe how
doesn't
you're
even
helping.
need to think. She's already scanned the exact size, and she's got the right wrench for him. Like he doesn't even need to speak about it. She's like, this,
Alright.
this. Here you go.
That's a
Yeah,
plus.
Patty-
That's a +4 on Dalton. +5 with Krill's assistance. It's
Okay.
It's a quick change.
Yeah, so basically the way it happens, Patty pulls out the jack and lifts the car. As soon as the car gets up, Patty's like, "What is that thing?" pointing at the tire, and I'm like, "Yeah, it doesn't use mags. It doesn't use the any of the velocipede. Nothing the new shit uses. So I literally gotta pull these nuts off." So reaches his hand out. Krill hands him the piece. He just cranks all of them off. I will say this, when he puts it back together, he's going to do like a speedway change. So he doesn't put all 5 nuts on. He puts 3 pressure nuts on to get him on his last trip to finish that up. So it is a quick job.
Okay.
But it's, yeah.
Give me it.
By this
Good.
By this point, Patty's like a bit sweating. She's like, fuck that guy. But he is right. You need to drive a modern car because this is fucking stupid.
Do you know how hard it is to to work the machinery in these in the new cars? It's not even about knowing how to fix an engine or change an oil. It's about knowing how to do hacking crap. And I don't know how this doesn't have computers.
I walk over to Krill. I'm like, you have this.
I swear to fucking God, I'm gonna run all 3 of you fucking weirdos over.
It's fixed! We'll be gone in a second!
If it's fixed, why the fuck are you
Porn?
still here?
The porn changes to the driest, slowest reading of a engine manual you have ever heard. It is some 80-year-old man who, this was his job for years and he just needed that spare time. It's no energy is put into this, but this manual had to have been read sake of audiobook or whatever school that hired it. It is the most boring thing you could ever imagine.
I'll say this: the noise and all that and everything happening does have Dalton stressed. The random choice of sound that Krill has chosen brings a calming wave to Dalton as he starts rushing everybody back into the car. Let's go, people. Let's get out of here.
Give me a roll. Give me a roll, Dalton.
Oh my god, -2. I'm gonna pop another tire.
It's fine. You've got a pretty. That's your
I
primary
know I
skill
drive my
anyway.
best.
You're fine. But as you start to pull away, the dude behind you is basically riding your ass.
Would you like assistance?
Many years ago, I learned not to have such incredible road rage. So as much as I would love to bash this guy's head in and have all of you guys help me so we can just kick him into a bloody pile in the middle of the freeway, I'm going to just keep driving and I'm going to get you where you need to go. This guy can ride my ass the whole fucking time. I don't care.
Tick, tick, tick,
Patty
tick.
is sitting
High
in
beams.
shotgun now,
High beams.
holding
Tick,
both
tick, tick,
fingers
tick.
up against the guy. I'm like, get off her ass, bitch!
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
Subtlety is not your strong suit, is it, Patty?
What? The dude's a bitch. He needs to get told he's a bitch.
Dalton leans out of the car.
We're going! You don't have to ride my fucking ass! You can take a fucking space! It's not a big
There we
fucking
go!
deal.
Fuck this guy!
Jesus Christ!
I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep it together. Can you turn up the volume on that car manual?
Oh, yeah. And she connects the car manual to our radio as well, because mind you, that's blaring from his car, not ours.
The car
Oh.
behind you pulls the first off ramp.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, you're a
And-
bitch, aren't
and
you?
sh-
Can't even stick on the ass the whole time.
Oh,
And-
okay. Thank you, Patty. Jesus Christ. Can we just... Oh my god, this has been such a stressful day.
The moment he turns off, she does stop fucking with his radio.
So, as you approach, I believe the next drop off as you weave your way through the industrial zone and past the docks, past the port of NSF, into a weird, seedy little area that people rent out small little shops to do their side projects and to, hopefully scrape together a living or maybe work on their motorcycle on the side, that sort of thing. You arrive outside of Krill's domicile.
A concrete building. It is just as minimalist as possible, and you see a industrial elevator. It probably was painted at one point. Now it's just got flakes of yellow off of its gross rusted metal gates that work as its doors. It doesn't even have proper doors to the elevator. Krill just gives like a little wave as she, hobbles towards her elevator.
Krill.
Disappears.
Now we're left with Patty and Dalton.
Okay. Okay.
Give me a driving check, Dalton.
Look, Dalton, I love you, bud, but I can't be
+1.
I can't be changing this old ass tire in the middle of the fucking freeway. I get it. You like old shit. It makes you feel younger or something, but like, come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, I would love to sit down and help you learn an appreciation of old school vehicular styles and the creativity that went into some of these devices. You know, they really are quite the engineering specimen, especially if the further back you go. You know, these things used to run on like hot water and shit. Like, these are very fucking interesting
Wait.
devices.
Are you saying like water TM or like water?
Oh no, okay, back when there was water abundantly and everyone was
Right.
allowed to just have it, these things ran on like steam power. They were bougie and they didn't go very fast, but like, you know, you crank them up and you get them to go. It's interesting history of automotive evolution. And
You know, that sounds great. I'm gonna tell you straight up, the MedTech van would have been here across the city.
well, interesting
10
thing
minutes
about
ago.
the MedTech van. So actually, from many years ago, they had the MedTech. It was just an ambulance,
Yeah.
and this device was actually like a proper motor vehicle. It used a diesel engine, and it could actually combust in its engine to create drive. And it
Yeah,
was
and we see what happens with those. It fucking made life the world worse. You know, shit on the modern shit as all you want, but at least we ain't dumping whole ass gallons per minute into the fucking atmosphere.
arguably our new supercars that run on very little fuel, use magnetism and all kinds of grav shit to go. Yeah, those are very, very clean energy vehicles. But I'm just saying, there's not like, you don't hear the rip of the motor. You don't hear any like bubbling or boiling coming from the hot exhaust and engines.
You know, here, I'll make you a deal, okay? We get through this training thing tomorrow, I'll let you tell me about them, alright?
I'll make you a better deal. Stop being so aggressive towards your teammates, and I'll work out even harder.
Where's this coming from?
I enjoy working with you, Patty. I enjoy the way that you drink like a goddamn fish. But I have to say, we're trying. Karen and I are about to really push towards creating something cohesive here and trying to put together a team that can effectively do a job, which would be nice. And I'm not saying quit drinking. I couldn't care less. Drink to your heart's content. I just don't think you have to be so cantankerous to Karen. You don't necessarily have to come at me. I mean, come at me. It's fine. But you don't have to bring that energy to every situation, you know? And I'm saying this out of love. It's not even meant to be like a, fuck you, you're getting kicked off the team. Every one of us is a fucking reject, so
I mean,
don't worry about that.
I'll be honest. If y'all kick me off the team, you know what happens?
No,
is I go.
nobody's saying that.
Yeah, but like, if you do, I literally go putting together some dumb fucking shot in the middle of a gun store the next week. Like, you know.
Well, that's why we want you around. We think that you could be way more productive and way better for yourself and us as part of this team. And again, I'm not saying change your fucking personality. Do what you're gonna do, 100%. But just give Carrot a break.
Give me rolls, both of you.
+3.
Yeah,
No.
+3 for me, +2 for
Oh,
Patty.
sorry, I misread.
Yeah, it took me a second, so I thought I had
That's fine,
+2.
that's fine. I misread, okay? I thought mine was a second. I'm tired, okay?
He hasn't swayed you. He hasn't convinced you. Your mind is not made up or changed. But maybe, just maybe, this dude's making a little sense.
Yeah, I mean, look, out of all of the people, Troy and Dalton are the top two for me in terms of likability. You know? And I take a sigh and like, look, how do I say this? And I'm trying to figure out the words. There's just something about Karen that rubs me the wrong fucking way, you know? Like,
I see that. 100% valid.
yeah. Look, you're head over heels for her. You do you, get that shit, I guess. But for me, it's like, I don't know. I take a swig and
Spill the tea, sis. I want to hear it all. Whatever you're feeling.
She just keeps trying to like assert herself over everybody. It really pisses me off. Like she keeps trying to like mom people. She's like, oh, Krill, you need to do this, honey, and oh, honey, you need to do that.
Mhm.
And then Troy, she's like treating him like a fucking baby with gloves on. I'm like, dude, he's a fucking person. Like treat him like a fucking human being. I mean, he's a person, he's a robot, but the point gets there, right? And
yeah,
she just keeps doing that, and I really, really like. I want to fucking punch her.
as you've said before.
Yeah, but like, you know, there's like the punch where like if you say something, I like punch you in the shoulder, right?
Yeah.
I want to go 12 rounds in the fucking ring with her and knock her down until she's fucking bloody and red. That's how much I feel about her, and it pisses me the fuck off.
I understand that. And as a Karen stan, I can also embrace that, yeah, I can see that she has an effect on people. They get very bothered by her. And she knows what she's doing for the most part. Even me being a fan of her, I'm fairly confident she's using it to get stuff out of me. What that could be, I don't know. But I'm kind of just vibing with it. But I think there's a middle ground that maybe we can talk to Karen, or I can talk to Karen if I do so feel ingratiated towards her to a degree. And maybe we can find a middle ground where maybe she doesn't talk to you that way as much, as well as maybe you don't openly steal expensive alcohol in her face and drink it.
Okay.
Maybe there's a middle ground there.
You can't tell me that she didn't deserve that.
I'm not going to interject on whether or not anyone deserved anything. I'm just saying, you drank a really expensive bottle of alcohol right in her face.
It's fucking
That
alcohol.
was pretty brutal.
It's meant to be drunk.
I don't necessarily disagree.
As this is occurring, what we're witnessing outside the car is the transition from the industrial to the residential section. And the way the residential section, the way the Zone 3 is laid out, is essentially you're abutted to San Bruno Mountain, which is abutted to, which sort of differentiates or demarcates the Zone 4, the agricultural, into the residential. Now, for those outside of the well, which are the super wealthy, they are the elite of the elite. Outside of those, essentially, there's two areas of Zone 3 that are premier. There's the ones abutted to San Bruno Mountain and sort of the border zone between the agricultural and the residential, because vertical farming and mountain is more pleasant to be near than, say, industrial. And then there's this south section, the west section on the map. It would be the bottom, but it's the west coast. The west side of the residential section, which abuts a series of lakes that have now become inland waterways along the edge there. And so there's two primo sections to this. The closer you are, which the two of you are, to the industrial zone, the cheaper rents are, but the more higher density mega apartments exist. So as we transition out of the sort of industrial area, what you find is a higher density of transit, but also mega apartment complexes, towers that have 15, 25,000 people in them. And it's these sorts of places that people who don't want to pay a high amount of rent and that are sort of the base group of the NSF residents that exist in. In these spaces, of course, what you have is also the prevalence of, again, crime, but also the seedier side of things, because the Panametzer census works in the future just as well as it works now. So there's cheap food, there's cheap entertainment, there's cheap booze and drugs, there's cheap sex, those sorts of things. So you see signage and advertising, and the advertising changes from more of a commercial in the zone in zone 1 to a commercial, but of a different nature. It's advertising the more baser instincts. It's advertising TV shows and it's advertising streaming shows and these sorts of things that are very much, you see somebody in leather-clad gear. It's very much sexualized advertising everywhere you look. It's very much appealing to those baser instincts. And as you pull up, functionally what you find out is, as Patty guides you into where Patty lives not that far from you, but functionally lives in the same complex as you. Now, where that is in differentiation is, very much you are over here on this building that holds 25,000 people, and Patty is many, many layers down and over this direction, sort of thing. And so while you are technically neighbors, the chances of you two having ever run into each other is exceedingly slim. But what it means is that carpooling for the two of you instantly becomes quite an easy endeavor.
Okay.
So as you pull up to the Palatial Arms Estate, what you find is a underground car park that goes very, very far down, and basically is luxury. There's not many of those slots available for the 25,000 residents of the Palatial Arms Estates, but you would be taking a hit. Realistically, Dalton would be living in a lesser apartment than Patty, because Dalton has chosen to sacrifice on one end for the other. Whereas Patty has no normal means of transport, uses public transportation, receives rides from people, etc., etc. Whatever funds Patty would have would go to at least making sure that the apartment is more than just a box. Right? So as you pull in, it's essentially the same garage, only you end up having to walk your separate ways and use different elevator banks to get to your apartments. So I'll let you say your goodbyes and then I'll narrate out.
So yeah, we pull into the garage. I pop out of the car, assuming Patty's popped out as well.
By this point, she's a bit sloshed. She, for how much she usually takes, she's kind of feeling it. She's like, Jesus. Look, I see what you're trying to do, right? At the end of the day, we're all fucking stuck with each other.
Yep.
Yeah, I just, Troy's easy, Krill's easy enough. She's a bit of a weirdo, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I like her.
a little
She's
bit.
cool. She's a little bit of weirdo, but you go past all the robot shit and you're like, all right, okay, I get you, I understand you. Troy, he's a fucking fish out of water, but
Troy's a fish in space, but yeah.
But I just look at Karen, right, and
I mean, I get it. You don't have to say much more. I get it. Maybe we should examine who Karen triggers in your mind and your memory, but that's like a therapist's job.
Yeah. Look, there's levels to who I'm willing to get inside my head, okay? You're lower than Troy. I like you.
Hurtful. He's a new human being, but
Yeah,
okay.
but he's trained for therapy, so
I would actually prefer you go to Troy than me.
yeah. I like you, Dalton. You're a good dude. But there's just some shit you don't let people know, okay? If I started telling people my problems, you know what happens is I kill someone, probably. because I realize how many people piss me off in this world. And it's a lot of people. A lot of people. You ever seen how many fucking 14-year-old kids with bullets inside them?
Dalton is 100% like in the mode of listening to a drunk person just like roll the same point over and over and over again, saying it in different ways, but essentially Dalton's like,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
I've lost count of how many kids I've seen got shot.
Oh yeah, as a paramedic, or sorry, as medtech, I imagine you've seen a fair share of atrocities, and that's all I'm saying is you don't know. Karen plays everything close to the vest. For all we know, Karen has seen atrocities, and all I'm asking is just maybe once in a while, swallow the anger, swallow the response that you want to feel at her. Just every now and then. It would be a major difference compared to now.
Why do you have to be fucking right?
Honestly, this is a new feeling for me, and it's super fucking weird.
Well,
but in all fairness, putting aside what you said about Troy being higher up in your friendship hierarchy, I like you a lot, Patty. I think you're very interesting,
It ain't
and I think
friendship
you
hierarchy. It's therapy hierarchy.
It's either way. I think you're a good person. I think you need to stay on this team, and I think that I don't want to be a couple months down the road getting a good team going, and then suddenly we have to talk about is there still too much tension between Karen and Patty? It's nuts. I think we can do this now, and we can get a good vibe going for whenever we decide to run the next mission, which I'm sure will fail with blinding speed like we have before, but
look,
build on.
We're gonna fail it so hard, but there's one thing you can guarantee in all of it. I'll keep you fucking alive.
Yeah, and also, speaking of keeping me alive, I'll be here tomorrow bright and early. We meet at this in this parking lot, and we'll do some jogs.
Yeah, alright. Take care, man. And I give him a fist bump before I stumble off to my apartment.
As Patty walks away and stumbles and gets out of earshot, Dalton lets out a huge, burdened sigh of just, I didn't want to spend all that energy, and heads home.
As your sigh hits, the camera cuts. Just a hard cut. Smash cut to a pair of brown boots. And all we see is Jacob's tied up legs and feet on the chair. And the camera fades to black.